Nope.
Too lazy.
What do I have on this Calvin Crown? I have half a gyro. Oh, I can do Luna again, I guess. Ah, Calvin, you go shut up, please.
Hunter x Hunter is back, featuring all of your favorite characters. Blood Man, Punch Woman, and of course, Bird Cuffs. Seriously, the balls on Togashi to come back so many years later and just pretend like nothing ever happened. I love it. I really do respect that Togashi decided to simply continue the story he'd begun and for a mangaka to create a series return chapter featuring none of his main or look, let's be honest, even secondary cast and have it be this good is phenomenal. This chapter had no right to be this good. And for people who have been heavily invested in the Succession War, this chapter was a shot of narrative adrenaline. This is what we've been waiting for. However, I feel like a lot of people will have read this chapter having completely forgotten what happened during this arc, and look, don't worry, I got you. So here's the TLDR of what's happening and why we should care. We are currently at the beginnings of a conflict between the three main mafia families of Kakini. This was started by a dude named Fluini from the Hailey family, who killed some members of the Chara family and almost framed the Phantom Troop. However, the Phantom Troop, being the wonderful gents they are, worked out their differences, and they're now in a sort of shaky alliance with the Chara family. They have a common goal to kill the leader of the Hailey family, Morena, and also to find Hisoka. Meanwhile, the guys we focus on in this chapter are none of those people I just mentioned. These are actually high-ranking members of the third family, the Jiyu family, who have been tasked with the same mission, killing Morena and finding Hisoka. Why are they looking for Hisoka, you ask? Yeah, that's a good question. That's because both the Chara and the Ziyu family bosses value stability above all else, and they see the Phantom Troop as a threat to them. So either they want to find and kill Hisoka first before the Phantom Troop causes too much chaos, or alternatively they want to find and assist Hisoka in ridding the ship of the Phantom Troop. Their intentions with Hisoka are left a bit deliberately vague. But that's why all of the Nen fighting is happening in this chapter. And the man of the hour is Henry Bigendufno. Stupid name, but you know what, they all have weird names. It is so hard to put this into words, but Henry is like, he's just one of those characters that I've been waiting very patiently to become invested in. Because he had potential. He has those crazy eyes that tell me he is either going to be insanely cool or just brutally killed, potentially even both. And we got to see his Nen ability in action in the previous chapter actually, but it was nothing compared to the fantastic display in 391. The ability itself is called All Creatures Great and Small, Biohazard. And it's one of those Nen abilities that would be like almost useless in the wrong hands. And I tell you this, I will never look at pigeons the same way again, which is what I love about this power. As of yet, Henry doesn't go with the obvious when it comes to animals or even objects for that matter, because I feel like most people with this ability would jump instantly
Honey?
to the lions, the tigers, and bears, and all of the other apex predator crap.
I
But this
guess so.
dude is slaughtering people primarily via the power of pigeons. Everything Henry chooses to use his ability on seems, well, it seems so mundane. Like, oh, let's combine handcuffs with pigeons or cameras with domestic house cats. Neither the animal nor the object is in any way impressive on its own, but the way Henry uses this mundanity to give himself a supreme tactical advantage is the sort of thing that Nen combat is all about. I mean, just think about it from the opponent's perspective. You see a dude with some pigeons, which by the way, this led to probably one of the most badass lines in all of Hunter x Hunter. Go ahead,
Yes.
call your backup. As you can see, I have plenty of pigeons. I mean, God, Henry is just so unexpectedly cool. But look, unless you're a hyper-vigilant Nen veteran, the whole pigeon thing, it's probably going to underwhelm you and lead to lowering your guard, if only slightly, which is what makes all the difference. The guys Henry was up against, by the way, they are not Nen veterans, not anywhere near. They are Morena's Nen newbies, who have only become users in, what, like the last week? So
No,
they've had
but
abilities
true,
fast-tracked to them, and I still think they're a bit drunk on novelty powers. Although one of them actually got the better of Henry, which actually
Oi,
proves
bro.
what I was saying about how even slightly letting down your guard makes all the difference. Henry definitely got a little complacent in this fight. Even as an experienced Nen user, you cannot underestimate any opponent, because you can never fully predict their abilities. Henry thought that he'd won because the cuffs were on and he paid the price for that, which was quite a substantial wound. And I think it shows that Henry, whilst very, very clever, is also vulnerable, and when it comes to anyone on Hisoka's level, he's probably gone in an instant. I was actually quite interested by the ability showcased by our conjurer, whose name I'm just not even going to try to pronounce, because conjuration of an object using your own body is something I'm not entirely sure we've seen before. We've seen enhancement of the body, even to the point where Ramot's feathers became blades purely through the power of enhancement, but this actually shows better than anything how inexperienced this guy was with using Nen. The problem with conjuring an object onto your body is that conjuration is about as far from enhancement on the Nen ring as you can get without being a specialist. So yeah, look, he can turn his body into weapons, cool, but he doesn't have the aptitude to enhance his own body after that, which means it's kind of like the equivalent of, say, like conjuring an aluminium foil shaped axe onto your hands and just going, gah. He doesn't have the oomph to use it properly. It's a really half-assed measure and just an inherently flawed idea. Like, he would be much better off conjuring objects on their own with their own unique properties and maybe splashing in some transmutation, but there's no one there to teach him that. So his life basically amounts as a learning exercise for others. Back to Henry though, look, I don't think this will happen, but I would love to get some insight into his background, because he clearly has origins with animals and nature, and is able to wield its peaceful, docile, and fearsome aspects in equal measure. It may also be worth considering that pigeons are a more advanced fate. Make your opponents think, mate, he is so deadly with like the stupid animals, and then the lion gets whipped out of nowhere, unexpected. I hope we continue down the simple path though, because I want to see what other mayhem Henry can cause with these just ridiculously common creatures. To JoJo fans, I'm sure this ability will also provide a bit of a flashback to a certain gold experience, because it is quite similar to that stance function, and that probably shouldn't come as a surprise because a lot of the Succession War abilities are clearly JoJo stand inspired.
Cringe. Game is going to content. Ah, dude, hapana. I'm not trying to disconnect here. I was going to kill him and somebody got over here. Ndavaende nditopedza kavheni yangu. Hand the top block on a clockwork. Cringe.
Agenda.
Ngawabuda ngawamira kupedzera time. Yay.
Ah, chegou o Rocha está hoje.
GG, I hope this content.
Hey, victory do. Ah, Mitrovic Shadows.
Yeah, it counted. Fuck you. Oh! This is a rare and ultra rare hand. Utamba medu such it.
Dude, pause and say Shaman.
Why?
That crash has Demon Games.
Oh, I don't know that.
Alright, Sejal. Kutamba next.
I don't know. Those are no game.
Something interesting though. I did praise Togashi for continuing exactly where he left off, but it is worth considering that the outline for this chapter was probably already completed several years ago when the hiatus began,
Let's go.
as well as maybe 2 to 3 more. That's just how the manga process works. At any moment, most mangaka have stories outlined for the next 3 to 4 chapters. So we might not yet be in a situation where we are seeing post-time skip Togashi in action. So it makes me very keen to see just how the story will shift once we wrap up this Clutch mini arc. Let's talk more generally about Henry's mission of killing Morena though. She has recently been flagged as a much more important character than we may have previously suspected, because she is the sole figure on the cover of Volume 37, which is interesting because Togashi doesn't really put smaller characters on volume covers, especially not as the sole focus. With that said, we're in a bit of a race against time here because there will come a point where killing Morena is absolutely useless. In case you're unaware, her ability is called Contagion, which allows her to infect 22 people, giving them the power to participate in a fun Nen game, where every person they kill is worth 1 level, and every kill of a Nen user is worth 10 levels, but if you kill a Kakin Prince, that is worth a whopping 50 levels. And once someone reaches level 100, they become a member 0, which means that they get to infect another 22 people. So it's like a Nen plague, and very similar to the Chimera Ant problem. In the same way that the queen dying didn't help once the king was born, Morena dying at this point is theoretically useless because she's already done her part. Actually, that might not be true. Morena herself is a level 45, so maybe if she reaches level 100, then she gets to infect another herself is a level 45, so maybe if she reaches level 100, then she gets to infect another 22 people. But the bigger problem now is stopping the existing 22 people from each
What's going on with your computer?
being able to infect 22 more people. Well, I guess we've solved one of them now. I mean, there's one down. Just 21 more people. But this chapter also reminded me about one of the things I love most about Hunter x Hunter, which is that we get Henry's inner thought process regarding Morena. He's speculating that, oh, maybe she's trying to start up another revolution, and maybe this is a training camp. Basically, he's giving her a lot more credit than he should. Because we, as readers, know that Morena just wants to burn it all, and there's no really sophisticated plans beyond that. And this was actually one of the things that frustrated me most about Hunter x Hunter going through it the first time. The fact that Togashi dedicates so much time to the inner speculation of characters that we know for a fact is flat out narratively wrong. I think many authors would see this as something of a waste of time, because it's not necessarily giving new information to the audience. In fact, in some very
Is your... Alright, never mind. Yeah, no, we can't pause my G. Azorapedza kuload. Ukwenda ku-offline asikumuvika. Asikumuvika. Anyway, abvuma.
Oh, I'm not typing them.
Didn't even see.
Nice. This auto attack when that was some CM lane. He is facing.
Oh my word, this pause. I'm going to die because of this pause. What's the cooldown on this spin? Chicken toss. 5 seconds. I'm definitely going to die.
He can say I'm trigger. I won't die.
I would die, dude. Unoza kuti andirova ne 2 mashuriken ndiscape papa. He just needs to do 1 shuriken. Une TP here. They are TP.
TP.
Yes.
Out.
No, TP chaiyo.
Yeah, she.
Inosvika, dude. Because achandita 1.
Shaman atori muview mangu atosvika chitumwa ndi hex.
Zviri nani uto hex watraya, dude. Because arichandita 1 shuriken ndosara nekana 50 HP. Unyatsokuita apa paanoona pamberi pake chaipo chaipo.
Muri kufa. Ambomuraya we.
Anombomuraya. Tisakambora ni Eli. Ehe. Right. Thank you.
Akutadha angasira live. Wangashirwa. No! Messed up, Shamar.
You messed up. Now you fucked up.
I fucked up. But Dr. Arutongo Famba like the world is his.
How no gonna go for? I'm cancelling my chip.
Ascabri got 2 brain cells.
And you forgot the fight I couldn't come with. Awesome.
I have a TP. You know what? I'm going there.
And you know, out.
You end it up with for mana.
Blink, got a blink. Jesus Christ. Okay, and we are not outing, I can the predictive outing. Yep.
Yeah, Linda.
Anka!
Did you land?
Yeah, I let.
It's going to work. So. Saram.
Doctor, who you do was again? No vision, no. They have vision, yeah. They have vision, yeah.
Where is that? Over here.
That's right, that's right. They are good at train for me. Jesus Christ.
Leg.
Kakafe. Go to kupinde. Nabatwa.
Baba, kumashure kuna vanhu vese kwezo.
GG.
Shanda batwa no sha.
Retard, man.
GG. Sana nyaya. Yeah, doctor asombolinda mazi out yemashino. Amina akutamba kutamba emili.
Kwaska agura for that say. Anyway, that's a pop bag.
Sinefire ashatoti miota mazi beauty ana. betting about what's shooting in
Yeah.
Ona doctor, zvinhu zvikuitwa nadoctor.
Wow.
Chiremba akadhakwa. Urwera.
Kana mshida? Oh, man.
Akadhakwa ari kunonoka kuisa out yake man.
Which doctor? Who are you keeping your outie for? 60-second cooldown. You're so stingy with it.
Yes,
I'm just been dying. I didn't want to waste it on the Asuka and then everyone jumps.
You should have. It would have been like 20 seconds back now.
Okay, but if everyone jumped us right there, Sidon's ult and everything,
Or if they jumped us, you'd be dead anyway. So might as well.
I guess so. But it's dead. Oh, yeah, I'm dead anyway.
Doctor, where you going?
See.
Where do you pick up these idiots of yours? I have been checked. Atombone Etherlands here.
Dude, aneningirikiri.
Anoiri blink. Doctor akamboshandisa blink uko. Ona matambira ari kuita. Ai, zvako.
Zvakaoma.
Manaka.
Bruh.
Uyu doctor ari kushamba captain chete. Unosakadaro. Ngablinke kumberi kwake.
The cringe.
Untohodwa nashaman for the longest. Doctor akangobata maspray. And ndikutya tried out.
Yo, Neta level 25 in that fight. Damn. Damn it.
Ndafa kunoko.
Uri kuita ikoko kana uchizivako. Wow, yeah, rotator kill. Epic.
Ane heavens ovit shaman.
Ndio kutoa muda akadaro.
Ngaphepo zouyu mufana uyu yakadhako. Ah, maybe a BKB wish doctor.
Oh.
Unasingagoni
Disable.
kuadapta kugame. Tenga BKB wese out yako uninterrupted. Anotinga agani msafeta. Yaasi kutombokwanisa kuchanela yacho out yacho. Reported. We don't have any reports left. Adatopedza game.
It takes so much just to kill that guy. Oh, abatwa. Wait, out here, stop running. Oh, I told you.
Jesus Christ.
He can't actually grab me because
Yeah, row.
he or what? I went in.
Under row.
Oh,
One more no. Nice. Nice. Go. That's under.
Right, that is a lot of holy shits.
and I was saying that Rasta can't grab me because I don't have Astano. I love it. You've got to show me love.
Not death. I don't think I not in the open. Waste that. No. Hey, don't understand this. Stupid one. And school. I think Lincoln's a regular let's see. Out of terrace. What should I can? Or Lotus of.
I think the Lotus would be nice. Aha, taza kuyenda. Iwe TB hapo tafa. Test it hapo tafa.
This damage in there. Jesus Christ.
Hayi nansi sinabhekisa dust.
Dr. Anton Sherman.
Hendele kuphi?
Bona
Uyo.
mari.
You can't hold me, bitch. Oh. Yeah, I can't kill him. I can't.
Ane Lincolns, jamani. Jesus Christ.
And
Sniffer. Ndidamuyisa.
oh yeah, and Lincolns.
Jesus Christ. Aba baba bazithenga big empira. Havana. I think.
How can I defend this?
Sniffer yacho neHearts neLincolns havana zvona.
Atina 45. Ah, GG.
Yeah.
I can't even. Cringe.
Chichi kubhuitika nePCN. After every game uri kuvhangutsi.
Yatokrasha.
Eh.
Uri kushandisa chii for Discord? Hmm? Wait. Should I stop the search?
Poorly written cases, it might make the characters look dumb because they don't know what the audience knows. But that's also what makes Hunter x Hunter feel like a living, breathing world. The fact that every character has their own inner train of logic just chewing away. It's almost like we, as readers, are involved in more of like a voyeuristic reality show. I also love that scene with people taking selfies on their way to the Dark Continent. And I might be wrong about this, but I think this is the first time we've ever really begun to explore the third tier of the Black Whale 1, which according to the depiction in this chapter appears to be like the upper middle class tier. Tier 2 is where all of the hyper wealthy and celebrities are. And then of course tier 1 is where the king, his queens, plural, and the princes reside. Henry does also flag the fourth prince's relationship with the Hailey family. He is theoretically their benefactor, but we also know that Morenna has basically abandoned Saradnik and has usurped the family for her own purposes. But with Saradnik currently being occupied by that teeny tiny succession war, there's not a whole lot he can do about it right now. Alright, to the other two now, Zakuro and Lynch. The explanation of Zakuro's ability was pretty cool. He's an out-
Probably not. I'll probably play Weaver.
natural manipulator, and if I understand this correctly, he's constructing a legion of miniature Nen beasts through the standard combination of emission and manipulation, which if you're unaware is basically the magical recipe for Nen beasts. And I imagine that this would actually be quite difficult and very aura intensive to do in any other circumstance, hence why you need that added restriction of using Zakuro's own blood. And even then he can only do it for like 30 to 40 minutes. Lynch meanwhile is an emitter who basically has a truth punch ability. She asks people questions and she punches them, with the emitted aura forcing them to give truthful responses, which could lead to quite the dramatic situation. You know, punching someone, asking, "Are you Hisoka?" and then just this ominous answer, "Yes." Followed by like a shot of Lynch's severed head, because Hisoka is brutal. But these are the two who have been tasked with finding Hisoka. I mean, the Chara family are also looking for him on the lower tiers, but Hisoka is unlikely to be there. I'd also like to point out that Illumi is currently on tier 3, and the theory that Illumi is Hisoka in disguise is still going pretty strong in my mind. But as much as I love Henry, I really don't have as much faith in his underlings, Akuro and Lynch. And maybe that's because I know that they right now have the more difficult task of trying to find the superpowered clown murderer who is far more dangerous than any of the Mafia Nen users. And you know what? He's probably far more dangerous than any of the Succession War princes as well. So it's hard not to feel just a little bit of fear for their futures. Also, Togashi did a one-page color page, I said page twice, for this chapter featuring Gon and Yusuke from Yu Hakusho, which I think may have given readers the even more wronger impression of the chapter on multiple fronts. Again, if you were reading this from just hearing the news that, ooh, Hunter x Hunter is back, then I imagine that this was a very weird experience for you. However, more so than Gon and Yusuke, I'm interested by the background creature, because it seems to be wearing the Seed Urn on top of its head. Almost like a Nen Beast manifestation of the Seed Urn itself, with big old chompers, ready to consume several courses of Kakian princes before shitting out 30 or so years of king.
Ha! Why do I have Luna again? That's just messed up. Oh look, I've got TA.
Kungatoreka peanut butters.
Kingdom prosperity.
Ukutamba Grimsrock.
Yeah.
Alright, Mira. I might want to play Rubik just because of that.
Rubik. That's the compliment each other.
Unoba ma spells kati chingoicasta katutu. It's not rocket science, but I want to see what they pick first. Ooh, double TO.
Ndikavatedza instaff movha wabatuma so.
No, ndinobva ndacasta ma spells and then ndabaka 2, but then it doesn't even look like.
Oh, let's say very tethered then.
Yeah, I haven't anything to them sort of. Yeah,
Ndokwambachida peanuts mbatsva.
then that's what Rubik.
Unaichema. Ushingobhotola vanhu. Anenge akutozoonera game kuparallel universe panenge aripo. Asiri munyama wekudhuela munhu asiri odd. Because anotongoswa mubhodho wake. Right.
Can't look, this got 50 mana.
Zafa.
He's gonna get up.
Ah, uraisana. No, I think that.
He's still big.
And that's up.
Bitch. Mun ari toxic we.
Ah, please just it.
Conga boss, like Conga boss there.
Get on, bro.
She should wait and deal with them. That open. Violence.
Yes, it's probably coming top.
They're not nigga clone even. Oh, you maybe. Congrats to Diego.
Hold on one second.
The leg.
Yep.
Grim, just rotate mid there. Over it.
Oh dear, skafana bango.
Ah, yeah.
T0.
Nani?
Good.
Angari mid.
Louis right.
Gundi saji.
Insos.
Mira. Yeah, battery under tower.
Tora, anybody.
Nah, Tora.
Oh,
Woo!
Chiremba.
We invest in dust too.
And doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was everything.
upu.
Shit. Aha, damage aisati yakwana. Damage is not yet there.
Ah, that is why, man. Angane uyu mngani make.
Ha, angaka infest kwa shangwana.
Shamwana. Was our confidence zasho ka?
Avari kuda zve-BKB clear backline. Legion ana blink. Nice.
Janashta Nagash.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Get the Earth Shaker, I'm dying. Are you crazy?
Ah, that just well. Ah,
Ah, even could start. Ooh, there you. You get nothing. Ooh, Earth Shaker ita invis.
vanhu vari kudhuela havaziviwo.
What?
Wafa?
Ndaro what hit na etsega. Oh Lord.
Everything else is a bit of a misplay my side.
Gara uramba chidwela either Dazo or Oti. Not why I remember chidwela. Lifesteal. Nice. What do you want to know?
Can I kill Ursula by myself? Eh, and invis.
It's not Bristol big game.
Apparently.
It's not silver pampi. Ah, no, man.
Are they rushing?
Probably.
Okay, I'm linking.
Okay, force me.
Oh, boys! Pema disabled. Ah.
Terrible fight though.
Hmm.
We deserve to lose though. Deserve to lose.
Looked like someone's recording. That's fun.
They're unstoppable. Double kill.
Eating Gary Pere. Shish.
Link on the witch doctor.
That's not Zora.
No, it's not over. Oh, that part. This is the last two. The last two is rushing. I'm stuck out now.
Ha, BKB and Kuya guys and nana damage. It's cringe.
I'm not sure this is a refresher. Then.
And see.
Not bad.
Eh!
Bristol big hapana zvaita game.
The hex one did invis. Dude, I can't even kill the supports. It's actually cringe. Hmm.
I'm a duo. I'm a desperate duo.
Rough. Yee!
It's like a row.
Ari kukweka murume uyu. Ah, we are breakaway.
Jesus Christ.
Hmm. Enemy more than half the dual damage in a legion. Amana, this is a tick and the face. Which took time to go with that. Munobuda yenyu bambo. Did you see how long it took me to kill a support? Ha. Rakaoma. Where damage?
Vana vanhu vari wafana.
Ndikutozwana wangu. Ha, ndarinonga. Tabam!
Mana Charles.
Still need to do that.
It is a step. You are dead.
Where? What are you
Oh,
talking
I
about?
end up with.
No roha. Jete, Betty. Hey, very poor Shamwa.
Yeah, we are doing 38 dual damage victory.
Ha, inani green.
You go die.
Shame, I just start too soon. Omanaka. No. Did you see that though? Danchone kwa say. Etseka arkurova uyu.
I check out win again with that.
Vanhu vane damage ava, let me tell you. Kuenda sana nechi futi. Ah, boys. Ah.
Shaman.
Iwe vanhu vane damage ava, let me tell you. Welcome to the jungle.
Bro. Iyo wako utapinda.
Ani?
Southton.
Ani?
Iyo wako. Anamtaka hapa. Unoroa gani? Udatora prime of business irindana. Because kumbe it is irritated.
Oh, toxic. Kan boyenda.